Welcome back to TC Talk Sports, soon to be the best sports channel on all of YouTube. I have made the business decision, if you haven't heard by now and you're not subscribed for some reason. I'm not doing previews for every team in the NBA, but now I am kind of recapping and giving my insight and analysis on how these teams have been doing so far. I have videos already posted up with this type of format. Go back and watch those. We've got the Warriors, Spurs, Pelicans, a couple others, just telling you how the seasons are going, how well or how bad these teams have been doing as well. Like I said earlier, if you're not subscribed for some reason, you're missing out on all sports all the time. That's my motto here, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go over to TikTok, follow TC Talk Sports on TikTok. I post something on here and there every single day. It's daily content. If you're a sports fan, follow along. You won't be disappointed. In this video, I'll be breaking down the Toronto Raptors. How they doing? Not well. As of right now, Raptors are 3-12. That's 13th in the East. Offensively, numbers aren't too bad, but defensively, that's where the team has really been struggling this year. They're scoring 113.4 points per game, 16th best in the league, so pretty much right in the middle. Shooting 46.3% from three, 13th best in the league, so a little step up. And they're 5th in total assists, a huge leap up. They have a couple guys that can really share the rock this year, and we've seen it. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Davon Mitchell. I'll get into each of them here throughout this video, but I mean, offensively, this Raptors team has the potential to be a good offensive team, but on the defensive side, they just have to get better. Now I'll get into some of the players for the Raptors and what they've been doing this year. Barrett, in his second year with Toronto, missed a couple games this season, but he is leading the team with 23.2 points per game, 23rd best in the league. He's shooting 33.8% from three. I mean, he would want that number to be higher, but he's 18th in the league, averaging 6.5 assists per game, also pulling in 6.4 rebounds per game. He's having a really good year, possibly could have his name in there for most improved player. I don't know if it'll go to him, but he's putting up big numbers that we didn't really see with the Knicks, especially those rebounding and assist numbers. He's playing really well. Scotty Barnes was playing really well when he was on the floor. He played the first 4 games of the year, averaged 19.3 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game. Coming in, I mean, he's been playing well for the Raptors ever since he got drafted out of Florida State. He's just a character overall, and still, even being a total goofball, and there's some accusations that I'm not going to say out loud about him, he is a good basketball player. Grady Dick coming into his second year out of Kansas. A good rookie year last year, I think, for Dick. I didn't think he would have such a great year. I wasn't so high on him coming out of college, but he's put together a pretty good career so far. This season, he's averaging 18.7 points per game, and he's shooting 34.6% from three, and he's really shown that he wants to be the catch-and-shoot type of three guy. I mean, he can dribble, drive the lane, score at the rim, but his best attribute, shooting threes. You saw that a little bit last year. We're seeing that this year. He's had a couple games with 4 or 5 threes in him. He's a pretty athletic player. Defensively, you'd like to see him put on some muscle, maybe grow a little bit if that's still possible. He's still young, so maybe, who knows. But defensively, as of right now, he's kind of one of those liabilities and why their defensive numbers are so down. But a good year for Dick so far this season, and I think he will continue to have a good three-point shooting year. Emanuel Quickley, he missed the beginning of the season, played 3 games, and now he is currently hurt again. I mean, he's going to be an important piece for this team if they want to win games. We saw it last year when he did play. He had some really good games, especially with no Siakam or Scotty Barnes. Took over as that main primary ball handler, played really well. He was on a minutes restriction this year, then got hurt again. Don't really know how much more of this year he's going to miss, but this team also dealing with some injuries, definitely key injuries with Barnes and Quickley. Maybe one of the most surprising players this year has been Jakob Poeltl, the center for the Raptors. He's averaging 17 points per game, 6th in the league with 11.9 rebounds, shooting 60.8% from the field. That's also 7th best in the league, and a number that he's improved on this year. He's averaging 2.7 assists. Not a crazy high number, but for a center, that's a good number to be at. He's proved to be a solid, good big man in this league, and he's just having a really good year out of nowhere for Toronto. Another guy maybe having a surprising year this year, but he's definitely seeing more opportunity with Quickley and Barnes being out, is Ochai Agbaji. Now in his second year with the Raptors, he's averaging 32 minutes per game, so the Raptors really relying on him to take up a bunch of minutes and play a bigger role for this team this year. Those 32 minutes goes along with 13 points per game, 4.9 rebounds. He's shooting 45.3% from three. He's not a big three-point shooter, but he has proven to make them effectively and efficiently this season, and he is a good on-ball defender, averaging 1.3 steals per game. I didn't see him having this big of a year this year. Obviously, didn't expect Quickley and Barnes to be missing this many games, especially this early on in the season, but Agbaji, overall, a great year, I'll say, for him, and definitely making the most of his opportunity. In the draft, Raptors taking Jakob Poeltl, 19th overall, the freshman out of Baylor. 6'4", 200 pounds, 6'10" wingspan, so he's not the tallest guy, but defensively and shooting, that wingspan helped him out. Talking about Agbaji getting opportunity this year, the opportunity has not been there for Walter so far. He's played 4 games, 12.3 minutes per game, only averaging 2.5 points and 2.8 rebounds. Wasn't too sold on him in college. I heard people saying that he was better than Keontae George, a freshman out of Baylor that got drafted 2 years ago now. I've always been high on George, not so sold on Walter. He is a good on-ball defender. I think he should help this team defensively in the future if he gets more minutes. He can shoot and make threes. He can handle the ball well. Just opportunity hasn't been there for him this year. Player that went undrafted that the Raptors signed, Jamal Shed, one of the best point guards in college basketball the last couple years. Out of Houston, him and Calvin Sampson really built something there with the Cougars. Proved to be one of the best teams in the country. He was one of the best players in the country the last couple years. This year, he's appeared in all 15 games, only averaging 15.7 minutes, but he is averaging 4.9 points and 3.3 assists. So I think he should probably get minutes over Walter. It's just weird that they took him 19th overall. Shed goes undrafted. He's getting more playing time, more opportunity, but I think Shed is the better player. He's proven that so far in the little amount of time this season, just on the shorter side, so he kind of gets overlooked. But he is a good player, really good defender, a good ball distributor, good ball handler. So I would like to see him get more because he is such a fun player to watch. Coming into this year, I would have said my player to watch is Davon Mitchell coming over from the Kings. He's played all 15 games so far this season, 12 starts, obviously, with Barrett and Quickley being out. He's had to step up. He's averaging 8.4 points per game, and the best number for him this year, 5.9 assists. He is a good defender. We saw that in Sacramento and in college with Baylor. Only averaging 1 steal per game. I think that number will increase. He comes off the bench now for the rest of the season. Probably not 6th man of the year type material, but I think he'll have a solid year, especially with, he definitely had to gain confidence from those starts he had and how well he's been playing this year. So definitely watch out for Davon Mitchell because I think he'll have an impact for this team. Just like every other NBA video I put out, I have a prediction. My prediction for the Raptors, they're going to miss the playoffs. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. I mean, if Scotty Barnes comes back healthy, Emanuel Quickley comes back healthy, RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl keep playing at this level, maybe be a play-in team, but that requires all those guys to be healthy and to continue to play as well as they have so far. But just to have it on camera, have it in writing, Toronto Raptors will miss the playoffs this year.